for the Lakers.
Wide open shot for Bruno.
And he hits it.
And he cans it.
This has become extremely sad. So as of recently, the Los Angeles Lakers have been struggling. This is a team that is 3-7 in their last 10 games, and their struggles have been the talk of town as of late. Specifically, what I want to talk about is the discussion of if LeBron should be held accountable if the Lakers miss the playoffs this year. A couple days ago, I essentially asked on Twitter what people would feel or think if LeBron did actually miss the playoffs in his first year in the West after making the finals for 7 straight years in the Eastern Conference. And the general consensus was, at the very least, it would question his status as the current best player in basketball. Now, some took it a step further and talked about how he's eliminated from the GOAT conversation, but I'm really tired of that whole argument and I don't really want to get into that conversation today. However, a decent amount of people talked about how it would do nothing. Yeah, just nothing. Largely due to the fact that LeBron missed 18 games due to a quad injury on Christmas Day, in which the Lakers went 6-12 in that stretch. So therefore, LeBron is excused from accountability because when he was healthy, he had them as the 4th seed in the West. He was just injured. That's all it is. So he shouldn't be held accountable for anything. And for those of you guys who believe this, in my opinion, I just think it's a very flawed argument to use. For one, this whole argument literally stems from a singular day in December, because literally just 24 hours before Christmas, there was a 3-way tie for the 4th seed in which the Lakers would have been the 6th seed. So essentially what I'm trying to say here is that this was the period in time where the gap between the 4th and the 10th seed was merely 2.5 games. To put it into context, if you look at the gap now, roughly 60 games into the season, the gap between the 4th and the 10th seed is a whole 8 games. A couple months ago, the standings would drastically change in just a matter of a game or two, and it wasn't really indicative of the rankings of the teams in the conference. So to base your whole argument on what the standings were in the West, specifically on what they were on pretty much just the morning of December 26th, is a highly flawed logic, because again, it wasn't really indicative of how good the Lakers were in comparison to the other teams in the West. And I just want to pause here and take accountability for myself, because I'm not a perfect person. I pretty much bought into this argument as well, because the day after Christmas, I did make a video on how this was a big positive turning point for the Lakers and how that one game proved that they were the real deal. But fast forward to today, and judging by how things have gone, I was clearly wrong. But another reason why this logic is flawed is a very simple one. The season didn't end after LeBron was injured. Because although yes, LeBron being injured was a big hit to the team, when LeBron came back, there were still 30 games left in the season. They were only a game and a half back from the 8th seed after a trade deadline in which the Clippers, the 8th seed at the time, traded away their best player in Tobias Harris. So you still had a situation in which LeBron had a chance to lead the Lakers to the playoffs. And yes, since LeBron has come back, he has been putting up numbers that we're accustomed to seeing: 25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists on 50% shooting. And in any other case, that should be praised and glorified. And in a vacuum, it should be, as not just anyone can put up those numbers. He is one of the league's best and still is one of the league's best for a reason. But this is not a vacuum. The reality is, they aren't leading to wins, and these numbers don't show how bad he's been on defense and as a leader of this team. Because not just in this stretch, but throughout the whole season, LeBron has been horrendous on defense. I have seen so many times where he's missed rotations and switches and then proceeds to blame his teammates because he believes they made the mistake.
Just a total lack of defense. Now, that's the Lakers right there.
Valanciunas dominate on the inside, but then everybody's going to have to get back.
Caboclo for 3. Bingo!
For 2 from New Orleans, backing in. On the wing is Randall. Drive, kick. And
I have seen him so many times just not even get back on defense.
For that rebound, and it's going to fall to the Pelicans.
A missed opportunity there.
And Williams will shoot a 3 and knock it down.
He wasn't ready. Well, that difficult pass anytime below the knee. Nobody stepped in to pick up.
I've seen him so many times just get taken off the dribble, dare I say get whoever offensed like it's nothing.
Actually jumped away from the foul.
Trae Young finally scores back east. Trae Young, left hand goes right around.
Just to feel comfortable.
Crowd standing. Trae spins it in and a foul.
But then there's the off-court antics that have pretty much tore up the locker room and chemistry of this team. While yes, technically Anthony Davis's public trade request was made public by Rich Paul, and yes, technically he didn't make the trade offers, but when in the prior offseason, it was made clear that LeBron would have an input on the team's signings and trades, and that Rich Paul is LeBron's best friend.
LeBron James, he's in complete control of the Los Angeles Lakers. Magic Johnson coming out and saying that yes, they will consult with LeBron James before they do anything. Whether it's a trade or a free agency signing, whenever somebody becomes available, Magic is going to go to LeBron and say, hey, what do you think about this?
As a player who were in those trade rumors, things will be definitely taken the wrong way. Players will lose motivation to play because they just have this mentality of they're just going to get traded anyways, or they simply lose faith in the organization because of the lack of loyalty, or they may end up playing more selfishly on the court to prove a point instead of prioritizing team play. And yes, I agree, partial blame should go to the other players for acting that way, but if LeBron was indeed involved in any of this, if he was involved in the trade request, if he was involved with the Rich Paul and Anthony Davis things, then LeBron should be held accountable for damaging this team's chemistry as well. So essentially what I'm getting at is this. Sure, the injury did set the Lakers back, and yes, they probably would have been a higher than an 8th seed, or at least an 8th seed had LeBron not gotten injured. But when he did get back, the Lakers still had a great chance of making the run at the 8th seed, and LeBron, being the great that he is, has not done a great job of trying to lead and bounce this team back from the hole that they dug themselves in. And he should be held accountable for that, being the great that he is. Some would argue the greatest player of all time. At least top 5 in most people's books, at least in my book. So he should be held to those standards. Because Kobe Bryant and the Lakers in 2013, 42 games into the season, had a record of 17-25, was also 34 years old, was also dealing with a bunch of injuries to his team, had 3 coaching changes that year, yet willed his team back into the playoffs, tore his Achilles, and was never the same after that season. But here we have also a 34-year-old LeBron James, stuck in a very similar situation, you can argue a more favorable situation. He's viewed as the best player in the world, he's viewed as the better player than Kobe Bryant, and is having a very tough time doing what Kobe did in 2013. Now yes, LeBron doesn't have the luxury of even an injured 2013 Dwight Howard right now, but LeBron is supposed to be the best player in the world, while the people that did consider Kobe the best in the world didn't really consider him the best anymore after 2010 or 2011. He also didn't have to come back from as big as a hole. Pause. When the Lakers were 17-25, they were 5.5 games back from the 8th seed. Thankfully, the season is not over. There's still 22 games to be played, and the Lakers are still 3 games back from the 8th seed, so their season is not fully done yet. They still have a chance, but all I want is for the king to be held accountable. Screw all the all-time socks, screw the GOAT discussion. Yes, the blame is not all on LeBron, I am not saying that, but please, let's just not act like LeBron shouldn't be held accountable for the Lakers' lack of success simply because of his groin injury. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I just wanted to stick this in real quick at the end of the video. If y'all think I am biased, you guys are fully entitled to that opinion. But I don't make videos on this channel just to spew out stats and fun facts to you guys, because I don't think that's fun. I made this channel to be able to voice my own opinion on certain argumentative topics in which I use stats and facts to back up my claim, and start a discussion with you guys in the comment section or on Twitter or on Instagram. I don't have this hidden agenda like some of you guys think I do, but I do fully understand why you guys think that, because many of my videos do deal with narratives and arguments. So I just wanted to throw out there that I don't really have a agenda to ruin LeBron's legacy or anything like that. This is just my opinion on the excuse that his groin injury should be an excuse for him being held accountable for the team's success. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like the video if you did. Follow me on Twitter at TheBSouls. Follow me on Instagram at BSouls. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'm out. Peace.